Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into OpenAI's massive launch of GPT-5. And this is a huge leap forward for AI, because it promises to put, well, a PhD-level expert right in your pocket.
And that powerful idea comes straight from OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, and it really framed the entire launch. The promise here isn't just about a smarter chatbot. It's about having an on-demand PhD-level expert for literally any subject you can imagine, ready to help you achieve pretty much any goal.
And this really shows you the generational leap we're talking about. Altman had this great way of putting it. He said GPT-3 was like a high schooler. Brilliant, but kind of annoying. Then GPT-4o came along, and that was like your college student. Genuinely smart, really useful, but GPT-5, that's your PhD expert. So you see, this isn't just some small incremental update. It's a fundamental shift in how intelligent these models are.
All right, so let's get into it. What does it actually mean to have a PhD-level expert in your pocket? And what's the tech behind the scenes that's making this whole thing possible?
So the secret sauce here is something they're calling advanced reasoning. See, in the past, you kind of had to make a choice. You could have a fast model, or you could have a smart model that, took its sweet time to think. GPT-5 gets rid of that choice. It's smart enough to automatically figure out when a problem is complex, and then it just pauses to think for a bit. Just the right amount of time, too. The goal is to give you that perfect, thoughtful answer every single time without you having to do anything. And look, the performance data, it's just staggering. I mean, GPT-5 is setting brand new records on these really tough academic benchmarks. We're talking about things like SWE Bench, which is a test for software engineering, and MMU, which tests visual reasoning. And it's not just beating the old models, it's significantly outperforming them. And get this, it's even outperforming most human experts on some of these tasks. Wow.
Okay, so these abstract benchmarks are cool and all, but what does that actually mean for you and me? Well, it translates into some pretty tangible new superpowers that we can use every day.
Just imagine this. Your kid comes home, needs help with physics homework. You can ask for a quick refresher on, say, the Bernoulli effect. But then, you can ask for an interactive demo, and in just 2 minutes, GPT-5 writes almost 400 lines of code from scratch to build you a custom simulation. You can actually go in there, change the airspeed, play with the wing angles, and see exactly how a plane flies. It's literally learning brought to life.
And it's not just about code. The quality of its creative writing has taken a massive leap forward. So they did this interesting test. They asked it to write a eulogy for the older AI models. GPT-4o gave back a pretty generic line, something about building connections. Fine. But GPT-5? It wrote actual prose with rhythm and nuance. It captured how these tools really helped people, to soften emails and say things they couldn't quite say alone. It's just so much more personal, so much more genuine. It's emotionally resonant in a way we haven't seen before.
And all this leads to a new concept the team was throwing around called vibe coding. It's a pretty cool idea. Instead of having to write out meticulous line-by-line code, you just describe the vibe. You describe the feeling and the function of an app you want. Like, hey, build me a beautiful, really interactive web app for an English speaker who wants to learn French.
And the results are just incredible. I mean, that simple vibe prompt, it turns into a fully functional app. We're talking flashcards, quizzes, even a little game where a mouse eats cheese to teach you French words. In another demo, they just prompt it for a beautiful castle, and it sped out this whole 3D world with guards walking around and a balloon-popping minigame inside. This is basically software on demand. It's wild.
Now, all this incredible power is also being funneled into creating a much more personal experience. It's not just about what the AI can do anymore, it's about how it feels to use it.
So ChatGPT is really becoming yours. You can now customize things like the chat colors. You can choose a personality for it. You want professional? You got it. You want sarcastic? You can have that too. The voice mode sounds way more natural now. And with better memory and direct connections to your Gmail and Google Calendar, it's becoming a true assistant. One that actually understands your day because it can see your real schedule and your emails.
And the impact here, it goes so far beyond just personal productivity.
We're starting to see these profound, real-world applications and tools that are just complete game changers for entire industries. You know, the most powerful story from the whole launch, for me, was from a woman named Carolina Mellon. She just received a cancer diagnosis, and the medical report was filled with this jargon she just couldn't understand. She was, as you can imagine, in a total panic. So she took a screenshot and dropped it into GPT, and within seconds, it translated that incredibly complex report into plain, simple language. It gave her clarity in a moment of pure overwhelm. And that sense of empowerment, it continued right through her treatment. She was faced with this really complex decision about radiation, one where even her doctors disagreed on the best path forward. She used the tool to really understand the nuances, to weigh the pros and cons for herself, and ultimately it helped her make an informed decision that she could really stand behind. It helped her go from being a passive patient to an active participant in her own care. Just incredible.
Now, for all the developers and businesses out there, OpenAI didn't just drop one model, they released a whole suite of them. You've got the big one, GPT-5, but also a GPT-5 Mini and a GPT-5 Nano. And what this does is it lets builders choose the perfect balance of cost, speed, and power for whatever it is they're building. It makes this amazing technology so much more accessible to everyone.
And we're already seeing major organizations get these huge transformations. I mean, you've got Amgen, the life sciences company, accelerating drug design. You've got the bank BBVA doing financial analysis that used to take weeks, now in just hours. And the US government, they're rolling this out to 2 million federal employees. The scale is massive.
So when you step back, you realize this launch isn't just about a really powerful new product. It actually signals a fundamental change in how the next generation of AI is going to be built.
And this is maybe the most mind-bending part. OpenAI revealed they have this breakthrough training technique. So instead of just scraping the whole internet for data, good and bad, they actually use their existing AI to generate a super high-quality synthetic curriculum specifically to teach GPT-5. Think about that. It creates what they call a recursive self-improvement loop. Each generation of AI helps teach and create an even smarter successor. And that could dramatically, and I mean dramatically, accelerate the pace of all AI development from here on out.
So this new level of power, it puts these incredible creative tools into everyone's hands. It really moves us beyond just asking questions to actually creating solutions. Which leaves us with a final and pretty provocative question. When you have a tool this powerful right at your fingertips, what are the ideas that you are finally going to bring to life?